Hello, everyone. This is Mikoy, and welcome to my reaction of the TPP draft. Now, unfortunately, I had a live recording of the draft. However, the um, video got corrupted, so I had to use someone's footage. Shout out to a fairy for giving me his footage to let me use for this video. So props to him for doing all that. And seriously, I couldn't have done it without I couldn't have done it myself. So thank you for having a footage of your own for me to be able to use this video. And of course, granting me permission to do this. So yeah, I'm just gonna go through and talk about the draft that had happened as a whole, because there were some interesting things that happened during the draft. For example, we saw the first overall pick being Yuki going to the Rustboro Rev Rooms for a considerable price, 12K, which is an absolute steal from the get-go. Really shows you on how much the prices have gone. Well, I don't want to say down, but they're not as big as you would like to hope for guys like Yuki. But you are playing on a contingent, and you're pretty much playing with the limited hit credits that you have as usual. Most of these teams actually started off with 110,000K, but some of them have playing managers in them. That's why they have reduced prices. Blehay, for example, well, as you can see, he was getting drafted as well. He went for pretty much a big price. He went higher than Yuki did. However, as you will probably see here, that Blehay actually went more for Yuki and belonged to the same team, which is the Rooms. So already two great pickups from the Rooms for early on in the get-go. Um, this is not gonna be a full coverage because the full coverage will be has been posted already by you a fairy on the Smogon on his Smogon and on his channel. So please make sure to follow that and give him subscribers. So he really is a blessing in disguise. A good amount of prices. For example, the be quite the blessing for someone like Lichen. Uh, yeah. He's one of the many veterans that competed in for from last time, but of course nowadays kind of on the down low. Not really a high priority amongst the managers. That's why he went for so low. Um, Next up is Nashrock here, who went to the tap to the type. It will help. It will help in tours such as this. These are mostly for fun, so I wouldn't take these too seriously. If I were the players, I wouldn't take these too seriously. If I were the managers, I would still, this is a good litmus test for you guys because some of you are managing for the first time in such a big environment and such a public environment, such as team tours in the tours community, which can be a very stingy place sometimes. Um, yeah, I believe people like Glory and Drapey Airlines here getting nommed for 11K was actually a fairly decent price for Drapey, as considering what he did last year and how well he did last year, I should say. Taka, of course, getting nominated. No surprise that he was one of the biggest gets in TPP, considering how stacked the Ubers pool is, which is by and large contention for probably the biggest draft we've gotten, honestly. It is one of the biggest draft pools that we have, and it's definitely the tour to watch. The tier to watch, I mean, when it comes to the big boy players. So I'm pretty excited about that. They got Sturreal as well for 18K, another big boy get. Probably the defining OU player, if not counting for certain people who aren't playing in OU. But Sturreal definitely is um, a great asset to have, especially with the big players so limited in this pool. You'll definitely get a chance to shine, and he'll definitely do that along with Taka. So the Sarah Ledges already have a pretty great draft already in the beginning, looking very, very promising. Taboo Typhlosions also having a pretty decent draft. IMO, Nashrock, and Concept Everything are good pickups so early on as well, which is very planned, very, very much planned from the beginning. Here's Rice Man, a player I don't know about, but he is confirmed that he does do Ranbats, so I'm pretty excited on what's to come there, how well he's going to do in the future. Next up is FC, who, no shocker, is again another big boy get, one of the biggest players that we have gotten from this pool, of players. It is very, very impressive, very, very impressive indeed. Um, as you can see here, the draft already started its off kind of a hot start with a lot of one of the expected gets, but also one of the great gets, which makes this tour a little bit more mixed. There is no real like best player. You have a most good framework for a lot of these teams. For example, Euphanos is, with the OMM's capabilities. You got Rofna and Oakley's prior to get with FC. There's your OMMs and your Ubers secured. Typhlosions, I really don't know what the makeup of this was, but they'll figure something out. I'm pretty sure. Although they have players that are designated for certain tiers. Some of them aren't. So the Sarah Ledges, they already figured out what their metas are. August Akira, the player I don't know about, but they're going to the Schrodinger Skitties for the hefty price, so they should do fairly well then. Bobsikin, the Natdex Ubers TL tier leader, um, was the biggest get that we have, 19.5k. And when your draft gets under 19.5k, it's definitely an indication that this tour ain't gonna be taken the most serious here. There's no 20k buys, thank God. Um, but we do have some big boy prices, and this is the biggest price that we had. Bobsy Can, very, very impressive player indeed. Um, darn good player, as Dan mentioned, right there. Floor, decent pickup. Has been competing around since TPP 2, I believe. He wasn't there in the first one, so he might have been during the second one. So he was a good pickup almost immediately. And so when the River Rooms got him, I'm like, okay, they're an okay pick, but again, not a decent choice. And then Zastra was there for the Litwicks. The Litwicks are already have a much more better draft pick IMO. They've started off well into there when they picked up Bobsy Can. When they picked up Bobsy Can, they were like, okay, this team is legit. This is definitely a team to watch in this draft. Haha Gamer, heard definitely. And then another pickup for the Litwicks, very, very good. Then oh yeah, this one was funny. The quick buy of Richer for 3k, which is very, very funny. No one betted on Richer So the Typhlosion's like, oh, well, free 3K player. There you go. It went quick. They went quick with that. TTT Tech was a pickup for the Sarah Ledges, so very, very good there. Then we got Penter for and Yoru for the Reservoir River Room. So really, the river. Oh, sorry, Hugo. I mean Hugo and Euro for the Litwicks, and then the River Room's got Penter. So really, like the teams aren't bad, but they are somewhat middling in between. They definitely have a lot of strength there, but also a lot of weaknesses, as far as I'm concerned. Then we have Tempo de Anguria for the Typhlosions. Their LC is now locked. Cificon getting drafted as well a lot to the Stupid Town Snoms. The Snoms actually have a really good draft. Like you got Poke, you got Ubers in FC, and then you got someone who's much more all arounder in Cificon. Definitely a good pickup there, which is a very smart move on their part. Then of course they picked up Sundays shortly after. There's your doubles pool. There's your double secured. You got Sundays in FC probably. Doing and then you got Aerobee for 18K, which is one of the bigger payoffs. Definitely someone worth considering when they were doing OM mashups, and Aerobee's definitely proven himself to be pretty underrated in terms of Camomons, and this one definitely will be a great litmus test if he can outdo what he did um, from last year. Can he go better? Can he go better? I think he will. Then we got ADGP for the River Rooms, okay, and then Seth for 5K on the Schrodinger Skitties, which is, very, very nice. A very nice pickup. Then we get Carl. Carl is been a stalwart ever since TPP 1. Has been around for a really long time and continues to impress himself. Great camo player. Same 6 player as well. Very, very good in those departments. Great support. I can attest to that because I teamed with him last year, and I was really happy. I was really happy with his support. So yeah, it's nice to see Carl on the River Rooms. So he's gonna have fun with that. And then they nominated Eternal Ocean, and then Dragon Master shortly after, which are all right. They're all right pickups. Advita hasn't been doing his records show that he's it's not very good records, but he has proven that he understands OM mashups very, very decently. And hopefully, this TPP will hopefully turn around for him as we come to the future. And then me. And then. Oh no, and then me. And then me. They, you guys really want me this year. To be fair, this is probably the biggest payday I have ever been received, because normally when it comes to these drafts, I'm always ranked very low because honestly my skills are average at best, and I am the most average Chores player after all. I fully admitted myself to be the most average tournaments player ever. Um, but I have shown that I can provide good support if needed, and I can build teams fairly decently. And the Rev of Rooms took a chance on me, netting me the highest I've ever been bid on, 8K. And I get to team with Carl Dude Guy, finally, again. That one I'm pretty happy with, because Same 6 is going to be lit. But I am pretty happy with the team I'm on. I mean, you got Yuki and Penter for doubles, you got Blihe for LC, you got Reisman for Rands, and then you got ADGP to do anything else. Floor as well for good sub support option. So I think our team's pretty good. Honestly, I think our team's got some potential there. I really want to win because, guys, like I've done pretty much everything there is to do in TPP. I've hosted, I've managed, now I played. all it's left for me to do is to win the domestic title. I have, I had achieved everything I wanted to do in TPP except win. So let's make it the year where I finally get to win the title, okay? Um, then we get Hisui Guy for the Skitties. I've seen them around in tours. Pretty involved in the OM mashups community, and so he'll be competing there as well. Um, Dex, who is the same six player and no U player, very decent player. And if I ever line myself up with with Dex, I might be in trouble. So yeah, Part. But then we got Part, which caught me by surprise. I didn't think we were gonna pick Part. Hisui Region was next, and Dan picked them up, which is okay. We got one more player to do, and Dan and Street can basically do a call. That Panu, the Litwicks got Panu at a fairly good price as well. 9.5k is a freaking good price for someone like Panu. Impressive stuff. For Alam, one of the best Ore Coliseum players from what I've heard. So that would though their double secure is secured for the Typhlosions, as well as if I can find the name here. Yeah, Nico. There it is. Nico Tosi, who is a bid who has been bid on quite a bit, 14k. For the creator of Ore Coliseum, the most decorated player in Ore Coliseum, um, he's that's a good price. That's definitely a great price for him. And the Schrodinger Skitties better count their blessings because they've got someone like Nico on their team. So good job for the Skitties. Um, then Glalie Goes Boom was nominated. Poke AA. I've heard from Poke Art that he is a pretty decent player of that field. So low key, the Sarah Luchas have gotten their OMMs guy because they have great pickups for the Ubers and OU pools, but in terms of the OMMs, they might have in trouble. They might have trouble there at the time. That's what I was thinking at the time. Then Lions, who also signed up for Ore Coliseum, pretty decent Ore player from what I've heard. 18k still a steal according to Yuki. Okay. Um, Excuse me, that was a burp. Obligatory burp during drafts, even for post commentary reactions. Okay. Kind of steal for Blood Ace, 3.5k. I kind of agree there. You know, Blood Ace, I have seen more of them, more of their replays, I mean, and they're getting there. I wasn't too highly of them when they did BLT, but Poker seems to be pretty high on him, so okay. Zephyr Moonbeam, who I lovingly called the My Little Pony username because seriously, that name literally sounds like a My Little Pony OC. Um, that was our last. Well, that was our 11th guy. So thanks, Poet. Thanks for making us look like the My Little Pony team. Well, I just slandered my own team. Wow. Am I getting kicked out? Anyway, Irpa for the Sarah Ledges, they finally got their Rance player. Finally, they finally picked up Irpa, who honestly deserved to go at that price. He is good. Velcroc was part of our team, and then our last pickup was I don't recall. Sunrose going for 7k is also pretty good. Um, Pote seems to think highly of him. He's got taken, so can't wait to see him and how he competes. It will be really interesting. BP as well for 5k was a pretty good I did, and people were very high on Big Tony during the draft. I think they were drunk and just memeing. But yeah, 5K inflate his ego even more, guys. Sasha, I'm really surprised went late in the draft because I really think Sasha is going to be one of those players that's just gonna come and go. But no, the fact that they were so late during the draft really goes to show you just how much they missed out on these people and could have some hidden potential once they get drafted. So the Lyrics picked them up for 14K, which is a relatively good price for them in this pool at least. We were done. I'd say the River Rooms, we're gonna win. As part of the team, of course I want to win. I want to win. I want to win the TPP. God damn it! So hopefully this is the year I'll do it. Um, Then Scarlett got nominated for LC Eminem. All right. And then the Litwicks finally finished up their draft with Oh the Guilt, which is another doubles player that they picked up. So yeah, their draft seems to complete. At least they got everything they wanted. Hopefully, also, oh right, they also got MG and G of 97, two very veterans of the sport. MG, of course, the original host of TPP, and G of who has competed in multiple iterations of these. Um, yeah, as they were finishing up, they've got the last couple of pickups, like Dragon Phoenix and Vampire also got drafted, and JB. Hopefully, as I'm skipping through these, Cyril, of course, who surprising that they went so late. But yeah, most of these are just obligatory pickups and players they need to fill out, of course. And of course, as a reminder to the managers, they will have to play them on the they'll have to play all these players that they drafted. They have to use them wisely for each and every week. So yeah,